going to be turned upside down. The tables are going to be turned, so to speak. Okay. Also, you're also over here, whether you know it or not. A lot of the heathens are in this land to die by thermonuclear destruction. Okay, in World War III. That's going to help Israel come on top. Okay, when the so-called white man, which is the Edomite, according to the Bible, okay, you can read Genesis, the 25th chapter. Okay.
This is Proverbs, same book, Proverbs 12 and 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them.
Yeah, that's right. You know, and the way of the wicked seduces a lot of the righteous. Okay, the way of the wicked is seducing a lot of you Israelites. Okay, but not the elect. That's right.
Hey, but the brother was going into, he's talking to a damn Elamite.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna know what the hell we talking about. He his people just waking up to the fact that the white man's the devil, man. They over there bombing his countries up, man. Bangladesh, whoever the fuck it is. Right? So every nation is gonna soon realize that the so-called white man is the damn devil, man. That's what he's created for, man. Every spirit is created for something, man. Before you're even born, you're gonna fulfill the purpose that the Most High gave you. The so-called white man's purpose is to be the devil, which means deceiver. It's Latin for the word deceiver. And Satan, which is the adversary of the Most High and his people, man.
Diablos.
All right? That's what these so-called white people's job is, man. And every nation is waking up to that, man. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you guys can do about it. Just like there's nothing you can do about America being destroyed in this Third World War coming up very soon. All right? You can't send enough prayers up to Satan or Baal to change that back or slow that down, man. You can pray to Baphomet as much as you want, throw up as many Masonic hand signs as you want, but the so-called white man is going to be put into slavery, all right? And that's a righteous thing, according to the Most High and his son. You got it, bro.
Let me get Numbers 12 and 10. Because having a so-called white skin, that's the curse from the Most High. That's the curse. That's the curse to show the entire world who the wicked is. Okay? That's found, you can read the Old Testament, you can read in Kings, you can read about Miriam, you can read Leviticus, the 13th chapter. That's a curse. Okay, no pictures.
No pictures.
Okay.
Numbers 12?
12 and 10.
Okay. This is Numbers, the book of Numbers 12, verse 10. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle. And behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow.
That's right, and that was a curse from the Most High, because a woman, Moses' sister, was coming up against Moses. That in itself is out of order. Okay, so this was the curse that the Most High put on Miriam. Go ahead.
And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead, in whom the flesh is half consumed when he cometh out of his mother's womb.
And that's right, you so-called white people, you look half dead. Okay, you look pale. Matter of fact, they like to call black people spook. But the only spooks are you so-called white people.
Yeah, that's right.
You looking like Casper the Friendly Ghost. That's a curse right there. You can read it. And matter of fact, it's three types of leprosy. Okay, because this one said that the skin was white as snow. That's leprosy. Then there's one. When you finish that, Leviticus 13.
I see your head.
Yeah, that's 13.
There's a part where it says it says it twice. If it be whitish and reddish. Because there's another type, which is, it calls it raw flesh, matter of fact. Or if it be raw, or slack.
Yeah, the scripture's gonna say it.
Done. You know, so, look for where it says whitish and reddish. Leviticus 13.
Let me just start at the top. Just start at the top.
Got it? Want to read everything?
Yeah, right.
Leviticus chapter 13, verse 1. And the Lord spoke unto Moses and Aaron, saying, When a man shall have in his skin and his flesh a rising of the scab, or a bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh like a plague, of leprosy. Then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, or unto his son the priest. The priests. And the priest shall look upon the plague in the skin of the flesh. And when the hairs in the plague is turned white, and the plague is in the sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy.
That's right. So first off, understand we're dealing with a plague or a disease, something unnatural. Okay? So if you're looking this way, you got to go see a priest, because you're not, something is wrong with you. Just read on. What verse you at?
I'm at verse 3.
And the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. If the bright spot be white in the skin of his flesh, in the sight be not deeper than the skin, and the hairs thereof be not turned white, then the priest shall shut him that have the plague 7 days.
So, second understanding is if you got leprosy, you got to be put out. You got to be shut up. You got to be shut out from the rest of the Israelites, okay? All right, you can jump to verse 9.
Verse 9, when the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought unto the priest, and the priest shall see him, and behold, if the rising be white in the skin, and it have turned the hairs white, and there be quick raw flesh
That's it.
in the rising.
Yeah, so that's talking about a brown-skinned man who's getting white or turning red, and that's what you so-called white people. You compare it. You so-called white people have this form of leprosy, okay? But you're so-called clean lepers, and they use that word raw. Now, I believe if you check the Hebrew on it, it's basically uncooked. You're undone. You're not well done. You're bloody. That's why the scriptures call you red in Genesis. Okay, because you have raw, live flesh. Okay, that's leprosy, for your skin to be red like that, to be looking like it's cooking.
Lack of pigmentation.
Lack of pigmentation, to where the blood is coming through.
Aishashima.
That's right. Wasted.
Where you see?
Yep. That's right. Aishash means to waste, and the wa character is he. Okay? And then, keep going.
It is as all leprosy in the skin of the flesh, and the priest shall pronounce him unclean, and shall not shut him out, for he is unclean.
Jump to 19. I'm going to jump around.
All right, no problem.
Verse 19, Leviticus chapter 13, verse 19. And in the place of the boil, there be a white rising, or a bright spot, white, somewhat reddish.
There it goes, and then we're going to jump to 24, I believe. It says white and somewhat reddish. Okay? Now, there's no Edomites around us currently, but if you ask an Edomite what color he is, he's going to say white. But what is he? He's white, somewhat reddish. Okay? That's one of the scriptures, okay, in Leviticus 13. We're going to read it again. Leviticus 13 and 24.
Leviticus chapter 13, verse 24. Or if there be any flesh in the skin whereof there is a hot burning, or the quick flesh that be burnt, burning boil, the priest shall pronounce him clean.
Let me get Leviticus 13 and 24.
Speak for a second.
So it's not, the scriptures call it white, somewhat reddish. It's going to call it again reddish and white. So it's not necessarily a black and white thing, it's a brown and red thing.
That's right.
Okay, because these people on these signs, you know, they're brown, they're black and they're dark-skinned people. But majority of these people on these signs, we range from different shades of brown. Okay, the scriptures call leprosy white and reddish. Okay, it called Esau or Edom, excuse me, out of womb in Genesis red. Okay, so they're not white. Okay, but that is a type of leprosy too. You know, but they have clean leprosy. They're so-called clean lepers, but it's still a disease. It's still a plague. It's still a sign of the wicked. All right, they're white and reddish, and our people are brown. Okay.
What was that, 24? Leviticus 13 and 24. Or if there be any flesh in the skin, whereof there is a hot burning, and the quick flesh that burneth have a white bright spot, somewhat reddish or white.
And again, this is speaking of dark-skinned people, all right? But it's saying if someone gets a spot that be, read it again, white and reddish.
And the quick flesh that burneth have a white bright spot, somewhat reddish or white. Then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the hair in the bright spot be turned white, and it be in sight deeper than the skin, it is a leprous, so it's like it is a leprosy broken out of the burning.
And then since we're going to go in the hair, jump to 30th verse.
Then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair.
Okay, now we're going into leprosy of the hair. Okay?
The scalp is called.
Of the scalp. It's like it.
Same thing. Then the priest shall pronounce him unclean.
Okay, so yellow hair, commonly termed today as blonde hair. Okay, that's unclean. That's leprosy of the scalp.
It is a dry skull, even a leprosy upon the head or bed.
Hey, the scriptures call blonde hair a dry scalp. Okay, that's why a lot of blondes, the hair is so thin it falls out. That's not healthy. Okay.
And if the priest look on the plague of the skull, and behold, it be not in sight deeper than the skin, that there is no black hair in it, then the priest shall shut up him that had the plague of the skull 7 days.
Okay, so the priest was looking for black hair in the scalp. Okay, if you don't have black hair, because it's going to continue to tell you that black hair is healthy. Okay, if the priest didn't find no black hair, he's going to shut you up. He's going to shut you out. All right.
And in the 7th day, the priest shall look on the plague, and behold, if the skull spread not, and there be in it no yellow hair, and the skull be not in sight deeper than the skin, he shall be shaven, but the skull shall he not shave, and the priest shall shut up him that hath the skull 7 days more. And in the 7th day the priest shall look on the skull, and behold, the skull be not spread in the skin, nor be in sight deeper than the skin. Then the priest shall pronounce him clean, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. But if the skull spread much in the skin after his cleansing, then the priest shall look on him, and behold, if the skull be spread in the skin, the priest shall not seek for yellow hair, he is unclean.
Again, that's blonde hair. That's what this man has right here. Leprosy of the scalp, according to Leviticus, the 13th chapter, verse 30 and 36. Okay.
Does the Lord have leprosy?
Yeah.
How does the Lord have leprosy?
All right. Keep reading on. We gotta push this.
All right.
Push this out.
But if the skull be in I'm on verse 36. Then the priest shall look on him, and behold, if the skull be spread in the skin, the priest shall not seek for yellow hair, he is unclean. But if the skull be in his sight at a state, and that there's black hair grown up therein, the skull is healed, he is clean.
Look at that. If black hair is growing, your scalp is healed. You're clean. All right. So that's healthy hair. Okay. Matter of fact, you know, the white man is going to take royal hair, which is woolly hair, okay, and call it nappy. All right. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you have healthy hair according to the Most High. All right. What the scriptures call